Don't worry, I didn't forget about you. My bad. I had to do a lot of homework. I'm in a group project right now, so I had to do that first. Okay, let's get into this question because a lot of people have been asking me, and there's not a linear way to do this. There's an abundance of ways that you can do this, but at the same time, very minimal. It's weird. First things first, let me tell you how I got started. So I got an associate's degree, a general one at that. I got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and then I'm in my master's degree. It's a forensic psychology pathway, but it doesn't have a licensure at the end because I'm going to be going for my doctorate for clinical psychology, and getting that license at the end is what makes me eligible to practice forensic psychology. So think of clinical psychology being like a therapist or someone, and then my master's degree being like an extra curriculum, something I can branch off of from being a clinical psychologist. Now, with this being said, people can sometimes go for forensic psychology in their bachelor's if they find them at some schools. It's extremely freaking hard to find a program anyway. But some people do get their bachelor's degree in forensic psychology. I highly suggest getting one with a license. But let's just say you get one with a license and you're like, I don't really want to go to my master's. I kind of just want to do my doctorate. Boom. Go to a school for clinical psychology for your doctorate, and you can just skip that whole master's process. You don't have to do your master's like I am. Now, there's different stipulations in it, like SATs and GRE. I think SATs, but the GRE for sure, some schools call for. I prefer not to go to one with that, but that's one option. The second option is to do what I'm doing and get a master's in a licensure track or a non-licensure track for forensic psychology, and then go on to your doctorate. And the third option is to get your master's in forensic psychology with a license and then just start working like that. But you're not going to do the whole retrospective what you think you're going to be doing unless you get a doctorate. That's why I push to everybody, you need to get your doctorate. I know it sucks, sweetie. I know it's so terribly sad and it freaking sucks. But years are going to pass by anyway. Do what you want now so that you can do things later in the future that you actually like. Like, the time's going to go by anyway, so do what you love. As for your clinical social work license, keep doing that, but then get into school. Try to get into a master's program, because I'm assuming that you got that for your bachelor's. Try to get into a master's program specifically highlighting on forensic psychology. Now, this is another thing. People always ask me, can I get a degree in criminology and be a forensic psychologist? No. Even though the epitome of forensic psychology is learning criminology, you're not learning the applications to actually take it into a courtroom and provide those details based on someone else's behalf. Criminology is specifically just the research on like societal factors of why people do what they do in criminal settings, or, specifically for that person, to where forensics is honed in on one person utilizing all of the research that criminology has taught us, but we get to actually bring it forth into a courtroom if you're called. You're not always called. Sometimes if you have good enough writing, you don't have to go in. So there's not really like a small answer of like, yeah, specifically do this and you're Gucci. Like, that's not how it is. There's a plethora of avenues that you can take. The hardest part about studying forensic psychology is literally just finding a school. So either one, make sure you get a master's degree in forensic psychology, or two, get a master's in forensic psychology and the doctorate. The second option needs to be the first. I don't know why I said that second, but it needs to be the first. You need to get a doctorate. That is going to be the hype of the job, everything you're thinking. If you stop at a master's, I promise you, you're going to have a hard time finding a job, let alone doing exactly what you want to do. If you got to the end of this video, you are a champ. But let me take this time to also help people with their college process. I made a free ebook in my Instagram. You can also find it in my bio on TikTok. Click it. You'll find the ebook to help guide you through college, the process, getting scholarships, FAFSA, all that stuff, to kind of like correlate more with the knowledge of understanding how to get into forensic psychology. So that is also useful. Okay, check it out. Love you guys. Bye.